What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the titles going down. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all seeing the title? Let's jump right into it.
For the country, because it seems like today's tech billionaires are shifting rightward and seem to have more power than even the VP, whose name I can't remember.
Well, there's no club of these people where it's, kind of individual.
How disrespectful is that, bro? Like, I ain't even, like, I usually don't even...
Rightward and seem to have more power than even the VP, whose name I can't remember.
And Sonny, she's laughing all loud, and you see, like, that right there, that's, I guess. That just shows you how disgusting they are.
Well, there's no club of these people where it's, kind of individual, and, I'm very focused on global health and, hope the transition to this administration doesn't interrupt some incredible work that's been going on.
Well, they had some VIP seating at the inauguration, and we did notice you weren't there. What do you make of that visual?
They clearly wanted to fund the inauguration. They wanted it to be a great inauguration, just for the good of the country, no doubt.
I feel we're calling you Bill, Mr. Gates. Shortly before President Trump took office, you had a 3-hour dinner with him, and that's more FaceTime than, as you say, you had with Joe Biden during his presidency. And by your account, you say that you were impressed with him. What are you able to share about issues you discussed? And since he's only been in office 2 weeks, but do you feel like what you discussed aligned with what you're seeing so far?
Well, my two priorities in talking to President Trump were the global health issues, particularly HIV and polio. The voters have a lot to be proud of. We've saved tens of millions of lives. The number of children who die at the turn of the century is over 10 million a year, now down below 5 million. And things like HIV medicines, malaria bed nets are responsible for that, and vaccines. So I was encouraging him to drive more innovation in those spaces. We're still missing some vaccines, and I felt we had a very good conversation.
Okay. Well, and you, Mr. Gates, you also called Elon Musk's political influence abroad, quote, insane, along with another word we can't repeat here. But what's your take on his political access and influence here in America right now?
Well, Elon, his private sector work, has been very innovative, really fantastic. A lot of private sector people, when they get into government, they don't take the time necessarily to see what the good work is or why it's structured the way it is. So I'm a little worried, particularly with this USAID stuff. My foundation partners with USAID on nutrition and getting vaccines out. And, there's incredible people. They're not actually worms that work there. So, hopefully we'll get some of that work back in shape. In fact, if we don't, you could have literally millions of deaths. So, with aid, people think, wow, how much do we give to these countries? As you said, it's less than 1%. People think it's 5% and it should be 2%, but it's actually under 1%.
Wow, and still saving lives. Well, your Gates Foundation is the biggest funder of vaccines in the world. I think a lot of people don't recognize that. And it was key to developing the COVID vaccine. That has made you, unfortunately, a target of all kinds of baseless conspiracies, including from RFK Jr., who apparently does have a worm in his brain. And
so they're saying stuff like, my thing is that I don't get when it comes to The View. And that's why I was more so listening, within this video. But my thing is, I don't know much about Bill Gates. What I am, noticing from him is just what he's putting, I don't really know how to say it. He's mentioned vaccines a few times. And what I'm trying to say is, you got to watch what you say on here. But I find it very, I don't know, I find it weird that they're saying things about Elon Musk, they're saying things about Trump, they're saying things about RFK Jr. And they always, they'll come out their mouths about how they're all for themselves and this, that, and the other. But they have Bill Gates on this show. And he's literally talking about, and basically from what I'm understanding and what I'm seeing right now, is him talking about what he has going on, more so. What he has to offer and the things that, and I feel like this show doesn't really give you, it honestly, and this is me talking to, because a lot of people already know this, but this show doesn't give you any type of information whatsoever. This show also doesn't ask the right questions. There is, obviously Alyssa Fair Griffin that actually asks way better questions than any of these ladies that's on the show. But I don't see how they can constantly sit there and talk crazy about RFK Jr., Elon Musk, this, that, and the other. But then Bill Gates is just perfect, and he's like, I'm confused.
He now claims he is not anti-vax. Do you believe him?
Well, we'll do our best to work with him.
I'm gonna rewind so y'all can hear that question.
Who apparently does have a target of all kinds of baseless conspiracies, including from RFK Jr., who apparently does have a worm in his brain. And he now claims he is not anti-vax. Do you believe him?
Well, we'll do our best to work with him. Under his management is going to be the FDA, which is a fantastic regulator, passing judgment on a lot of the new innovations we're funding. NIH does fantastic research.
Yeah.
And so those have been partners of our foundation. And, I hope the great scientists there get the support they deserve.
And just to follow up, before COVID, you say you spent the most sleepless nights worrying about pandemics. After COVID, has that changed? And if it has, what keeps you up now? Because we all need to know.
Yeah, the pandemic, sadly, was fairly predictable. And it won't be the last pandemic. The next one could be far more severe. I mean, this one, it killed millions. It was awful. We got the vaccine. Actually, President Trump's leadership was a factor in getting that out quickly. And so when I spoke to him, I said, okay, here's some other medical innovations, including a thing called an HIV cure that could be accelerated. So, we should be more prepared, both for a pandemic. I'd say that's still number one. You can worry about nuclear war. You can worry about AI.
This
there's
sounds like fun.
plenty to worry about. But
do you
overall,
sleep
I'm
at
an
all?
optimist.
Okay.
Well,
No, I mean, it's up to the government to think ahead on behalf of the citizens.
Yes.
So, pandemic, there's a lot that we should be doing that hopefully we'll get our act together before the next one comes. Overall, the innovation in health, both in the developing countries, the rich world, I love being part of that.
I was reading, though, that you said the next pandemic you are predicting within maybe 25 years. Is that
Certainly
accurate?
we'll have one in the next 25 years. There's even some pathogens out there that we're watching over right now. So maybe 10% chance in the next 4 years.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not a person that obviously, I've been learning everybody. I feel like I haven't seen much about Bill Gates, and honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. What he's about right now, and like how he's acting, and like I watch everything out of a person, and it just seems odd, what he's talking about, what he keeps mentioning, and something isn't. I don't know. It's odd. It's very odd, y'all. I don't really know. I usually don't do this when I, go through my videos, but you got Bill is a hypocrite in the comments. Sounds like Bill Gates is afraid if his foundation's not going to get him enough money to make him rich. Saying something about him constantly saying vaccines. I don't know. It's just it's odd. It's very odd. You know what I mean? And one thing about it is that what I've noticed is that The View, they always talk about hypocrites, this, that, and the other, but they are. They are really big hypocrites. And what I'm seeing, what I'm noticing out of Bill Gates is that he's and I don't want to, judge. I don't want to, assume about a person because I don't really know much about them. Like I do other people. I got to do, more research on them. I'm sure y'all let me know in the comments. But it seems very odd. You know what I mean? It definitely seems very odd. On how he's acting, what he's talking about. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know in the comments down below. Probably just, I don't know. I usually don't, and the crazy thing is, I usually don't even get like this when it comes, to a certain person, especially when they come on to The View. But I can't read him all the way. I can't read him all the way. And I don't know. The way he's acting and stuff is very odd to me. When a person is like hiding something. You know what I mean? When somebody's hiding something and the way that I don't know, the things that he's saying and how he's going about it. I don't know. A little weird. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.